Yes, sir.
We are live. Phoenix Suns get the win. Second Suns preseason game. What's good, everybody? Happy Tuesday, October 8th, 2024. And oh boy, we got lots to talk about. You thought we had lots to talk about in the Suns' first preseason game? Well, we have lots to talk about in today's show. Sorry, guys, I was sort of multitasking here. We are currently live on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, I believe. So I was kind of getting that all set up when the countdown was going on. So if I look a little distracted right now, that's the reason why. Because you already know the drill here. One-man show. But that's okay, you guys, because we're going to get through it. Cannot wait to talk about this Suns preseason victory over the Detroit Pistons in Michigan at Michigan State. And must have felt like a college game. You know what I mean? Especially for some of the younger players and even some of the older players too. So lots to talk about here, you guys. Do me a huge favor, though. Make sure to Hulk smash that like button and please subscribe for everything Phoenix Suns. Let's just dive into it. Like I said, you guys, as these shows, like these post-game shows, the more of them that I do, I'm going to try to get like into a better rhythm. I'm going to try to get them a little more organized. I'm still currently working on that. But really, you guys, this is just a reaction show, just a post-game live reaction show. And I'll start off with this. I really liked the Suns' pace a lot better in this game than I did last game. And that was something I was kind of keeping an eye on because in the Suns' first game, like I said, I just think they came out a little timid. I don't know if they were nervous or if it was just maybe trying to get a feel for each other. I mean, it was the Suns' first preseason game, so maybe they were just trying to find their legs, if you will. I thought they came out a little timid. And I'm really glad that Suns head coach Mike Budenholzer sort of said what I said during the reaction show last game about the Suns defense, because I didn't think the Suns defense was that great. And you could argue that the Suns defense wasn't that great in this game either, but it's not terrible either, especially in the second half, I believe. I think they really stepped it up. And we're going to talk about the Pistons and stuff. I took down some notes and everything. We're going to go over the stats. We're going to go over things that I saw. We're going to go over some Suns Twitter preseason overreactions. But I will say this. You know, you guys know the drill from last live show. It's just 2 preseason games, but, and this is your chance to get active in the chat, or if you're watching later in the comments, it's just 2 preseason games, but I really like what I've been seeing from the Phoenix Suns. They are letting the threes fly. And I hope they do it for the rest of the preseason and all season long. Let the threes fly. Thank you, head coach Mike Budenholzer. Thank you, Suns assistant coaches. Thank you for letting the threes fly. And this offense just looks so much smoother, so much more under control, and in a weird way, sort of more like free flow. I don't even know if that's like the proper words, but just kind of seems like, as Mike Budenholzer likes to say, like play random and play fast. We saw a lot of that, but like a controlled random and fast. You know what I mean? And we're just 2 preseason games in, and we're already talking about the Suns launching threes. I have a whole segment on that later, which we'll probably get into soon because we're going to dive into numbers and everything. But they're already launching threes at a high rate. They're playing fast. The ball's moving. And we're just 2 preseason games in. Sorry, you guys. I'm just double checking if we're live on all my platforms. I believe we are. Like I said, you guys, I'm live on Instagram right now, on Facebook and stuff. So, make sure to follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all that stuff. So let's just dive into it, you guys. The Suns get the victory, 105-97. And let's just dive into the numbers real quick. Again, what I like to do, like I did last time, I'm going to save the 3-point discussion for sort of last in terms of talking about these numbers. I just need to take a sip of my water. I'm sorry, you guys. So we're gonna let the 3-point conversation have its own little segment here. But let's just talk about the numbers just real quick. And later, I do want to talk about the Detroit Pistons because I do have some thoughts on them. The Suns shot 44.8% tonight from the field. They nearly shot 45% as a team from the field. That's pretty damn good. Got to the free throw line 17 times, made 11 of them. Not great, but you know, it is what it is. Got out rebounded 44-38. Again, no Nurkic. Grayson Allen was out this game due to personal reasons. I believe he's having a kid with his, I believe he's having his first kid with his wife. And you know, Mason Plumlee didn't have a good game. We're going to talk about that later when it comes to the Suns overreactions and stuff. Something we're definitely going to be talking about. The Suns had 30 assists and only 13 turnovers. Let me repeat that. The Suns only had 30 assists and 13 turnovers. Oh my goodness. And I'm just looking at the numbers here. That's saying something because the Pistons had 29 assists, but they had 20 turnovers. That is saying something right there. I can forgive those 13 turnovers. 11 steals and 9 blocks for the Suns. 20 fast break points. Both the Pistons and the Suns had 20 fast break points. We got crushed in the points in the paint. That kind of seems to be a reoccurring theme here. And the largest lead was 21, which I'm going to talk about that 21-point lead later. Okay, the segment you guys are probably waiting for. The Suns are letting the threes fly. And oh my goodness, I took some notes about this. I was watching very closely. Where do I even begin? And you know what? I kind of want to begin with the Suns, where the Suns were shooting threes at halftime. But I want to start with last game. So again, I'm talking strictly the Suns' first preseason game against the Lakers. At halftime, they were 9 for 21 from the field. At halftime tonight against the Pistons, they were 10 for 26. That's good enough for 38.5%. And Shane Young pointed this out. At halftime, the Suns were shooting 55.3% of their shots from three. The Suns were 10 for 26 at halftime. I put out a tweet and I was being serious. I said, just shoot all of the threes, Suns. Just do it. Like, who cares at this point? Just seriously launch every three there is. Don't even worry about it. Well, guess what, you guys? The Phoenix Suns tonight finished 16 for 46 from three. 16 made threes, 46 attempts. I believe we had 16 threes last game. Someone correct me if I'm wrong about that. But holy cow, 46 three-point attempts. Frank Vogel and his coaching staff would never. The 2023-24 Suns would never launch 46 threes. Now, if you guys are, maybe new to this channel or you haven't really been following the Suns that closely, you're probably like, Suns geek. This is the NBA. Everybody shoots threes. Who cares? Well, it's a lot different for this year's Phoenix Suns because they have been preaching it. They've been preaching about letting the three fly. They've been preaching about, playing with faster pace and all of that. And we have the type of players and scorers to be launching this amount of threes. So it's a pretty big deal. It's going to be a reoccurring conversation on this channel so much you're going to get sick of me talking about it. And I apologize if you can hear my dogs in the background. They're doing something. I can't tend to them right now. Appreciate everybody that's in here. Shout out to my guy Coda Kid. Shout out to Andy. Shout out to Daniel. Thank you, Mary, for being here. Calling coverage. Appreciate you being here. And thank you to everybody that's in here, y'all. Slayer's Icon, thank you so much, man. Like I said, you guys, I'm going to sound so repetitive. And you guys are going to get sick of me talking about the threes, but it's really important. The Suns are letting the threes fly. And I think that is clear just in 2 preseason games. I can't wait to see what the Suns are going to do in 2 Suns regular season games with letting the threes fly. Because you got to remember this. This is why we kind of call it preseason overreactions, because it's preseason. These are just warm-up games. And even though I thought both teams tonight were playing pretty hard, like there were moments in this game where it was like, whoa, this doesn't really feel like a preseason game. You got to remember that not every team, including the Pistons, are going to kind of show you all of their weapons and plays and skills and all that stuff. Like, guys are kind of just taking it easy. They're getting their reps, they're getting their shots, they're getting their minutes. I forgot what the tweet was, but somebody like tweeted me last game. It was like, Kevin Durant and Devin Booker shouldn't be playing this many minutes. I was like, it's not even halftime. Like, they want to be playing the minutes. Bradley Beal, I think, played a little bit more than Kevin Durant and Devin Booker did tonight. But my point being, these guys need the reps. You can't like bench them all preseason long and then, expect them to go out and play 38 to 40 minutes. You can't do that. Not in my personal opinion anyways. If I was a coach, I wouldn't do that. And if Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, like I hope us Suns fans do, they want to play. Doesn't matter what the game is. So it's sort of a side segment rant there, but it's true in my personal opinion. And again, if you guys are new here, that's what we're going to be doing. We're just going to be reacting to this. I'm going to give you my honest thoughts. We're diving into the numbers. We're talking about the threes. So much more to talk about. Can't wait to talk about the Suns rookies who are, again, star of the show. I mentioned that the Suns, there were times where the game was close. It was sort of like a boxing match out there. There were times where the Suns sort of blew the lead, but then when the second half started, I believe the Suns went on an 18-0 run because the Pistons did a good job of like catching up, I believe, early in the third quarter. Then all of a sudden it was like 72-56 or something like that. All of a sudden it ballooned to like an 18-point lead. Then it was like a 20-point lead. And even though the final score may not show that, this game kind of fell over like midway through the third quarter. And the Suns pretty much put in all of their, two-way guys, Exhibit 10 guys, the younger guys. I think Bull might have been out there. And speaking of that, I know this show's kind of all over the place, but I kind of like how so far, how Mike Budenholzer is going about lineups. Because in the Suns' first preseason game, we saw like a younger roster out there. I think it was like Colin Gillespie or Gillespie, however you pronounce it. It was like Ryan Dunn, Oso Guedara, but you had like Frank Kaminsky there. Now, I forget who was on the court tonight. I think it might have been Ty Washington, Colin Gillespie again, Josh Okogie, like some of the younger guys, but Bull was out there. You know what I mean? Like he's mixing kind of the veterans with the younger players, and I love that. I wonder if he's going to do that, during the regular season. Now, again, regular season, that's a completely different conversation. Maybe we'll do another live show and we'll talk about minutes, but I want to kind of get a few more preseason games under our belt before we kind of start diving into the whole like minutes thing and rotations. And Mike Budenholzer talked about this before the game, and he said, last game I played 15 players, because remember, when you're in preseason and training camp, you can have like 21 players on your roster. And tonight, I think he did the same thing. He played like 15, 16 guys again, if not more, because we saw Ty Washington tonight. And yes, we are definitely going to talk about the ball movement and the defense. Mike Budenholzer, like I said, you guys at the very start of the show, he said it. He was like, I think our defense could have been a lot better. And again, there was a few stretches where I think the Suns defense could have been better tonight. And I kind of want to go back and revisit that 18 or 20-0 run or whatever it was, because I don't know if it was all started by their defense, but there were so many moments tonight where the Suns defense looked a lot better. So I don't know if that was just the Pistons. They're young, they're rebuilding, they're not very good. I'm going to talk about them later. I don't know. But that 18-0 run plus the defense and the ball movement was incredible. You guys, we're almost 17 minutes in. Crush that like button, share the show. If you're watching on Instagram or Facebook, just click like or whatever. Seriously, guys, it would mean a lot to me. We are reacting to the Suns Pistons preseason post game, and I need another sip of my water. Delicious. Okay, guys. Let's talk about. Ooh, and speaking of that whole like 18, 20-point lead, Matt Peterson on Twitter wrote down in the third quarter at the 8:51 mark, the Suns led by 2. By the third quarter at the 5:10 mark, the Suns led by 16, and then all of a sudden it was a 20-point lead. I love that. That's basketball for you in a nutshell right there, especially in this era of the NBA and basketball. So continuing on real quick with letting the Suns, letting the threes fly and everything. There were a couple of tweets, specifically this one, that I wanted to react to. Let's see. Yeah, this one right here. Let me just zoom in real quick so you guys can see it. My bad, you guys. You already know the drill here. One-man show. That's what keeps these shows real and authentic, is when I'm literally doing everything on the fly. So great tweet here by Kellen Olson from I'm completely forgetting where he's from, but you guys know Kellen Olson, Arizona Sports. I'm sorry. Great tweet here. He says the Suns took 26 threes in the first half, as I mentioned before. He said they attempted 25 or less in 9 full games last season. So he's not talking preseason. I mean, he might have been, but he's talking 9 full games last season. 26 threes in the first half. They attempted 25 or less in 9 full games last season. That is insane. Like I said, you guys, you are going to get sick. Not sick of me, but you're going to get like bored of me talking about the Suns 3-point shooting all year. It is going to be a major discussion. And I don't know what these other Suns podcasts and creators are talking about, but I would like to hope they're talking about the same thing. Even at Arizona Sports and all these other, media outlets, I hope they're talking about the Suns 3-point shooting, because it is going to be a key factor if the Suns are going to do, anything big this season. You know what I mean? Which is also crazy, because obviously we didn't take enough threes last season. Even though I think we had a good percentage, we just didn't take enough of them or make enough of them. But we still won 49 games. And last season was one of the most frustrating seasons I've ever witnessed, especially since I started covering this team and really just all of my years as a fan. We still won 49 games. We're 2 preseason games in, and the Suns tonight attempted 46 threes, and I think in 2 preseason games they've made 16 each. That is nuts. That is absolutely nuts. Thank you, Mike Budenholzer. Speaking of stuff like that, let me just make sure. What is this one? Because I wrote down this tweet too. Yeah, here we go. So another one of my favorite follows on Twitter. I highly recommend y'all go follow this person. Suns are better. Tweets out this. Beyond the numbers, the Suns are implementing the 3-point shot into their offensive strategy is beautiful. This is how the best modern offenses operate. They've always had the talent. Now they have the system. Let me reread that to you guys. Beyond the numbers, the Suns are implementing, the way the Suns are implementing the 3-point shot into their offensive strategy is beautiful. This is how the best modern offenses operate. Now, I know this is random, but I was watching the first Celtics preseason game. I think it was like a few days ago. And one thing I noticed from them, and they did it a lot last season, was they moved the ball, the Suns like barely moved the ball last year. But the Celtics in their one preseason game that I watched, and again, they did it a lot last season, they moved the ball, but not only that, they actually, took they made and taked a lot of threes. You know what I mean? So I love this tweet. Forget what the numbers say. It's preseason. Who cares about the numbers? The way the Suns are implementing the 3-point shot into their offensive strategy is beautiful. They had the talent last year. I know that sounds crazy to do it. They had the talent last year to do it. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. They just didn't have the system. They didn't have like that buy-in. They didn't have that belief. But now they have that buy-in. They have that excitement. They have that motivation. They have just something different. Some of you might call it vibes. They have like the vibes to do it. You know what I mean? And I mean, 16 threes made, I believe, in both preseason games. 46 attempted. Let the threes fly, Phoenix Suns. Please, God. Please, NBA gods, let the threes fly. Big Bad Brad says, isn't Bud from Phoenix? Yeah, from Holbrook, Arizona. Mary, I appreciate you being here. She says, preseason is just making the upcoming real season more exciting. Exactly. That's why I love preseason. Like, we get a preview of this team or any team. Because, again, I have some thoughts on the Pistons later, and it's only preseason. Just like I said, like I was watching the Celtics earlier. They look really good, but it's only just preseason. Like this comment says, like what I'm seeing so far. Like, the ball movement and defense, Suns Geek, was so much fun to watch. Like, Colin Cover says, super excited for this season. Like, I love the preseason, y'all. Mike owes Book a ring. Yes, he owes Devin Booker a ring, and he owes the city of Phoenix a ring. That's probably why he's invested in making it work, exactly, to launch the threes. All right, you guys. What segment should we talk about next? Because again, I got a few more things that I want to react to, but we're almost 24 minutes in, and I haven't even talked about the rookies. So I think that's a good transition. Because yeah, we can talk about Kevin Durant. He was awesome. We'll talk about him later. We all know that. Let's talk about the rooks. And like I said, this is sort of the segment where I need to just combine them at this point. I need to make like a drop or something too, where we talk about the rooks, but we also, or I talk about the things that I saw from them. Because holy crap, there were things that I saw from them tonight. And I want to just pull up the stats so I'm not getting anything wrong here. Tonight, by the way, fun fact, so Suns' first preseason game, Oso Iguodala and Grayson Allen were the first players off the bench. Tonight, it was Ryan Dunn and Oso Iguodala at the same time, first up off the bench. Now, again, no Nurkic, no Grayson Allen. It's going to look a little different in the season, which I'm saving that for my preseason overreaction segment later. It's going to look a lot different, during the regular season. But holy crap, Ryan Dunn and Oso Iguodala. Speaking of preseason overreactions, and I'm totally joking here, but I'm also being serious. Here's my son's Twitter preseason overreaction. Ryan Dunn and Oso Iguodala are going to win co-rookies of the year. You heard it here first on Suns Geek. Let's go. Ryan Dunn, Oso Iguodala are the co-rookies of the year. You heard it here first.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Wait.
Everybody just calm down!
Sorry, you guys. I had to do that. Anyways, in all seriousness, though, Oso Iguodala and both Ryan Dunn continue to look really good. Now, again, we are only in 2 preseason games. So everybody just, including myself, just calm down, take a deep breath. But let me share with you what I saw. Now, this is random. I just took some notes here. But I want to start with Ryan Dunn and his corner threes. First off, he did it again where he just let them fly. And I love that. He did not care. Mary says, it's preseason. They got to chill. You know what? The rookies can let it fly. You know, they looked good. But Ryan Dunn didn't care. And I love that. He was letting the threes fly. He literally checked into the game. And I think he forced a turnover on Cade Cunningham, who's been in the league, I believe, since 2020. And I still got a lot of faith in Cade Cunningham, but more on that later. Good player. Forces the turnover on Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham was like driving in. Ryan Dunn kind of scooped him up. Oso Ighodaro was right behind them, by the way. And I think that helped force the turnover. And then I think like a few plays later, Ryan Dunn does the exact same thing, forces the turnover again, takes the ball up himself, and pops the three and looks back at the Suns bench. Are you kidding me, Ryan Dunn? I love you. Keep letting the threes fly. In case you missed it, Ryan Dunn forces 2 turnovers, I believe both on Cade Cunningham. Someone fact check me on that if I'm wrong. Doesn't matter, though. He forced 2 turnovers, looking like an absolute defensive monster. And on the second one, takes the ball up himself. You see my fingers moving here, and launches the 3. Ryan Dunn, one of the rookies of the year this year, right next to Oso Ighodaro. Because don't worry, I took some notes about Oso because Oso looked really good. And that's not all Ryan Dunn did tonight, by the way. Just reading you guys the numbers. Where is his numbers? 17 minutes tonight, 3 for 5 from 3. I think he was 2 for 6 in the first Suns preseason game, I believe. He was 3 for 5 from 3 tonight. He had 10 points, 2 swats, and only 2 blocks, 1 steal, and 1 assist, and 4 rebounds. Ryan Dunn did all of that in 17 minutes tonight. 10 points, 3 threes, 4 rebounds, 2 blocks, 1 steal, and an assist. Literally did like everything. And he didn't even play 20 minutes. Well done, Ryan Dunn. I love that. Oso Ighodaro, 21 minutes tonight, 6 points, 4 assists, 7 rebounds, 2 blocks, and 3 turnovers. But for all you plus minus fans out there, was a 10 in the plus minus. So was Ryan Dunn, by the way. For anybody who cares. I don't really care much for that stat, but you know, they looked really good. Now, things that I saw from them. You know, we just talked about the Ryan Dunn defensive plays and all of that. Let's talk about Oso Ighodaro for a minute. Oso Ighodaro trusts his players. And by that, I mean, now, I think there was a few more of this, but I specifically wrote this down. Oso had a beautiful pass. He was kind of near like the free throw line, and he dished it off to Ryan Dunn, who was in the corner again. Unfortunately, he missed it, but his passing is beautiful. Dished it off to Ryan Dunn. Ryan Dunn confident. Unfortunately, he missed. Whatever, it's just a miss, right? And then I want to say like the next play down or a few possessions later, found Monte Morris for a corner 3. Unfortunately, he missed, but Oso Ighodaro with the beautiful pass. I love it. And someone can fact check me again if I'm wrong on this, but Oso Ighodaro had 2 beautiful floaters that he did in college. And it's like the way he does it. And I was talking about Ryan Dunn's confidence. When Oso does the floaters, he does it with confidence. Like he would get the ball, he would turn around, take like a step or 2 and just float it up. And it looks so confident. It looks so good. Now, I hate to be a negative Nelly here. You guys know me. I like to keep it optimistic here. I do my best to keep it optimistic here. Okay, seriously, Iverson Vlogs, if you keep saying that in the chat, dude, I'm going to find a way just to permanently ban you, and I'm going to do that right now. So just stop. Anyways, if you guys don't know, apparently Iverson Vlogs was being weird in some of the other chats and all that, not just mine and others. So if you see him, report him. especially if he's saying weird things on other Suns pods. Just report him, find a way to do it, because I just did it. Anyways, what was I talking about? Why do there have to be trolls? Like, for real, why? Anyways, okay, so I hate to sound like a negative Nelly here. I'm all for the Oso floaters. They looked really good. I hope he does more of them in the preseason. But against NBA level defense, I'm talking about some of the better defenders in our league, Oso might want to pick and choose those. Now, again, I'm all for it. Maybe you'll get a surprise and he'll do it against like an Anthony Davis or something, or one of the better defenders in our league, right? But against NBA level defenses, when the regular season starts, he might want to be a little more careful with those. But again, it's preseason. Who cares? You get my point, though. I'm not trying to sound negative. You guys know me. I keep it optimistic on this channel. And I loved it. The floaters look good. He made 2 of them tonight. So maybe I should just shut up and not talk about it. But I'm just saying, against NBA level defense, he might want to be careful with those. Ivan says, NBA 2K should at least increase Ryan Dunn and Oso's stats to 75, especially after this game, because they're both going to win Rookie of the Year. More notes that I took. Oso's passing. We're going to react to one clip that Dwayne Rankin from the Arizona Republic uploaded. But Oso's passing was so beautiful tonight. Dude, and again, I said this last live show. The passing, I knew it was good. I knew it was there. But it is surprising me at this point. Like, first off, how quickly he passes. Remember when I mentioned the passes to Ryan Dunn and Monte Morris? You know, they missed the threes. But those passes were so crisp and quick. And there was one play where I think, like, the Suns were playing a little random, and I think he, like, dished it to Bradley Beal, but he kind of, like, handed it off to him. But he handed it off to him, like, so quickly. It's just, like, smart passes like that. He had a beautiful... Now, I think it was... And I think this... Yeah, we're going to react to it right here. Maybe it's just the angle. Maybe I missed it. I don't know if it was a no-look pass. But holy crap, this pass right here was just awesome. So again, shout out to Dwayne Rankin from the Arizona Republic for posting this. And the angle's not bad either. But this was one of the highlights of the night too. Let me just make sure. Let me just lower this. Sorry guys, my bad. Okay. Here we go. Boom. Okay. Let's watch this play right here. So Tyus Jones has the ball. He looks like he's calling like a set or a... Whoa, I got to lower the volume. My bad, you guys. So he's calling it up. Passes to I think that's Bradley. Yeah, passes to Bradley Beal. We're going to kind of watch this slowly. Bradley Beal gets the screen from Oso, or what we thought was going to be a screen. I'm sorry. Drives in, but Oso's cutting. Beal goes under the rim, dishes it out to Tyus. Tyus has a beautiful bullet pass. Look at this again. So Beal drives in. Oso follows him. Beal goes under the rim, finds Tyus Jones. Oso stays where he is. There's Oso Iguodala right there. Tyus with the beautiful bullet pass. Oso catches it, drives in, and then Bradley Beal is somewhere right here. But look, there's the beautiful pass right there. Bradley Beal, corner 3, splash. So I'll let you guys I'll just keep playing it so you guys can watch it. Tyus Jones sets it up, passes to Bradley Beal. Oso cuts, Bradley Beal cuts, drives in, finds Tyus, bullet pass to Oso. Oso dishes it out to Bradley Beal, splash. We saw that a few times, not only this game, well, I mean, it was a lot more this game, but we saw it a lot kind of the last game. Just a beautiful ball movement play here. And for me, what really set it up, and I even tweeted it out, was that bullet pass from Tyus Jones. That was what did it. But I remember like Grayson Allen kind of had a similar, I think a result. I think he was the one that like hit a corner 3 last game, but they did this kind of like same play and the ball movement. I feel like I haven't even really talked much about the ball movement. Just the ball movement for the most part tonight was beautiful. Like, just guys just dishing the ball, zipping around. Like, there was one play where the Suns were kind of playing random, and it led to a wide open Kevin Durant 3. That didn't happen much last season. Last season, if Kevin Durant got a wide open 3, it was like a big deal because it just didn't happen that much. But look, I could watch this play like a million times. And this wasn't the only one. There were so many plays like this tonight, which led to either a corner 3 or a made 3. Basketball can be a simple game, you guys, if you just move the ball. Heck, I even took in my notes, I want to say it was like near the third quarter, maybe in the fourth quarter, but the Pistons had a play where they were zipping the ball around and the Suns were struggling to keep up with it, and it led to a Pistons 3. Basketball is a really simple game. You know what I mean? I love it, man. Keep the ball moving. Keep launching those threes. Shout out to Oso Ighodaro and Ryan Dunn. Speaking of them, I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Monte Morris had a beautiful lob to Oso Ighodaro. We already talked about the bullet 3 from Tyus Jones. Flex from Jersey had a couple tweets tonight, and I just want to share it with you guys. He was talking about Ryan Dunn in this tweet here. Now, I forgot when this was, but he said, so this was when Ryan Dunn entered the game. First possession down, Ryan Dunn pump fake 3, drives, leads to a defensive collapse in the wide open Kevin Durant 3. Another Ryan Dunn steal of Cade Cunningham and a pull-up 3-pointer in transition. We talked about that earlier. He says, really like what I'm seeing from the young rookie out of Virginia. And I forgot to mention that too, but I did write it down. Ryan Dunn had a defensive play where it led to a Devin Booker and a Kevin Durant fast break, which Kevin Durant threw it down. You know what I mean? Like Ryan Dunn's defense was just great tonight, and it's worth talking about. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything else. Let's see. So since a lot of our conversation is about like the 3-point shooting and the ball movement and all that, another great tweet from my guy Flex from Jersey here, friend of the channel. Can't wait to have him back on the channel again. Used to be with PHNX Sports. Now he's off doing his own thing and is doing great things out there. But I love this tweet right here from Flex from Jersey. Last year, the Suns were playing inside out offensively. God, that's an understatement right there. Last year, the Suns were playing inside out I can't read. Last year, the Suns were playing inside out offensively. 1, attack the mid-range. 2, shoot threes if mid-range isn't available. That was last year's Suns, Frank Vogel, et cetera, et cetera. This year, I believe they'll simply reverse that and play outside in, shoot a ton of 3-pointers, and attack the mid-range when available and open. They've done that a few times. It's just 2 preseason games, but put your comments in the chat right now about it. It's just 2 preseason games, but I agree with Flex from Jersey here. I retweeted this. That makes a lot of sense. They're going to play outside in, shoot a ton of 3-pointers, pace and space the floor, and attack the mid-range when it's open. Because again, there were a few times tonight where the Pistons defense picked up, and the Suns kind of had to scramble. They kind of had to play random, but that's okay. That's going to happen. So great tweets there by Flex. Can't wait to get him back on the show. Let me see. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay. Let's talk about a few more numbers. Then we're going to dive into Suns preseason overreactions. Oh God, can't wait for that segment. Kevin Durant tonight. I mean, do I even have to say anything? It's Kevin Durant. And I want to update this drop here, but it's been a very long time since we've played the Kevin Durant drop. So let's just do it. some of those highlights are like so not outdated, but they're old by now. I need to like update that. I'm just lazy. But Kevin Durant, I mean, last game, you know, his first preseason game, he missed a bunch of shots. A lot of them were bricks. I was like, guys, don't overreact about Kevin Durant. He will be fine. Kevin Durant in the first quarter, 10 points, made all 4 of his field goals, 2 for 2 from 3 in just 6 minutes. And he looked more bouncy, if that's the word. Like he had a beautiful like turnaround fadeaway jumper. You know, we talked about that open 3-pointer that he had. I think he ended the game 18 minutes tonight, 21 points, 66% from the field, and made 4 threes, attempted 6 of them. That's what I said last show. I was like, guys, it's going to get even better for the Suns threes once like Kevin Durant launches more and Devin Booker and Grayson Allen and et cetera, et cetera. You know what I mean? Kevin Durant was awesome tonight, looked more like himself, also had 2 assists and 1 steal. Got into a little bit of foul trouble, but that's okay. Tyus Jones, 20 minutes tonight, 7 points, 7 assists, 2 steals, and guess how many turnovers, Suns fans? Guess how many turnovers Tyus Jones had tonight? That is correct. Goose egg. Tyus Jones had 7 assists and 0 turnovers. I love it. Tyus Jones played great. And I like to remind Suns fans, and I'm going to keep doing it, Tyus Jones can score. There was one play where I think the Suns were running the fast break, and people on Twitter were talking about this, but Tyus Jones had the wide open go for it. Like he caught the ball. He like barely caught it, launched it, and drained the 3. He's not afraid to shoot the 3. I am open for it. Tyus Jones can do a lot more than that, though. He can drive in. He can score. He's got a little bit of a floater. I want more Tyus Jones offense. I love it because we all know he can play make. We all know he can be our quarterback, if you will. I love it. Tyus Jones was great. Bradley Beal. Now, again, only 20 minutes. Didn't have the best first preseason game, but played a little bit better this game, I thought. 20 minutes, 12 points, 6 boards, 3 assists, 3 steals. Made 2 threes, attempted 4. Not bad. You know, Bradley Beal has been talking about how he wants to play more free this year and have more fun. I can't wait till we see Bradley Beal having fun and playing more free and what that looks like in this offense, you know. Can't wait. Devin Booker, you know, not the best game. It is what it is. I'm not worried about Devin Booker. 10 points, missed all 6 of his threes, but Devin Booker attempted 6 threes. Again, I love it. You know, again, not a great game, but it is what it is. He'll be fine. He had 3 assists, by the way, and 0 turnovers, and he had a block. So shout out to Devin Booker. Let me get some other stats and players. Royce O'Neal had a much better game. 11 points tonight, 3 for 5 from 3. Looked pretty good from what I saw. We were talking about Ryan Dunn. Josh Okogie attempted 2 threes tonight. He was 2 for 7. Didn't have the best game, but I like the attempts. Bol, you know, didn't have the greatest game out there. Only had 1 assist and 2 points, but I saw a lot of Bol passing tonight, and I kind of like that. I don't mind that at all. Like, I think he was confident out there. I think he was trying to be a good leader, and from just the little playing time that he had, you know, he looked okay. You know, there's obviously a side of myself and Suns Twitter and all that wants to see Bol be more aggressive. But again, it's preseason. Bol will be fine, y'all. I made a drop for this, and I'm still going to work on more drops. I want to kind of update them. They were inspired by the Suns Jam Session podcast, but I'm so glad to finally debut this. I wish I would have debuted it last live show when I did talk about Monte Morris, but that's okay. Monte Morris earned this drop. So let's play the Monte Morris drop that I did.
My mom would always be on me about taking care of the basketball. She would say, you know, don't let them steal my purse from me. So I kind of treat the ball like my mama purse. I try to just keep everything, you know, intact with that.
That's my purse. I don't know you.
If you know, you know. My brother's one of the biggest King of the Hill fans there is. He's going to love that when he sees it. Monte Morris looked good. And you know what? He didn't look too bad in the Suns' first preseason game either. 15 minutes tonight, 4 points, 5 assists. 5. And one of them was from that Oso Ighodaro lob that he threw. He also had a block and a steal, by the way. And guess what, you guys? Just like with Tyus Jones, 0 turnovers. Our point guards had 0 turnovers. Well, at least 2 of them did. I love it. I love it. He played so good. Just being out there, you know, controlling the tempo, finding guys, contributing all that he could. And, you know, as he mentioned, just taking care of the basketball, getting other guys involved. I love it. I know that was a short segment, but I don't care. Monte Morris looked good, and I think we should play the drop again.
My mom would always be on me about taking care of the basketball. She would say, you know, don't let them steal my purse from me. So I kind of treat the ball like my mama purse. I try to just keep everything, you know, intact with that.
That's my purse. I don't know you.
That's so good. Jason says Colin. Now, I always get this last name wrong. Gillespie. Someone corrected me in the comments recently about that. I was calling him Gillespie. I don't care. That I read it how it looks, okay? Colin Gillespie impresses me over and over again. You know what? I'll just say this. He didn't get that much of a run tonight, which is fine. It's preseason. You know, you got to see all the cards for the most part that you can. You got to see what your players can do. But when he was in, especially in the fourth quarter, he looked really good. And what did he do really well last time besides playmaking and everything? This time around, he kept it going offensively. I think all of his points were in the fourth quarter. He had 9 points, 2 made threes, and got to the free throw line 4 times and made 3 of them. Now, he did have 2 turnovers and no assists. It's okay. I'll forgive him. He had a great first preseason game, too. The dude lit it up tonight, especially in that fourth quarter. And fun fact, not that nobody cares, but I made a video. Or not really a video. It was more of like a YouTube clip about him. And I'm going to find the photo right now. But I tagged him on Instagram, and he viewed the story, which that's common. You know, I don't know if you guys can see it, but he viewed it. There's a little hair on my phone too. He viewed it, and I've had other players view my story and stuff. It's not like a big deal, but it's kind of cool, you know. Just thought that was a fun fact. Sawbucks23 says, one of the funniest episodes ever. I remember when I watched it with my family and we couldn't stop and kept repeating, let go of my purse. I don't know you. For real. That is still I love it. It's still funny, still a saying in my opinion. David says, what up, Chucky? Yeah. I don't know if you guys can see. Let me see if I can lower my camera a little bit. I got the Chucky Funko Pops and the cups over here. And I got my Chucky poster. You guys know me. I'm a big Chucky fanboy. I also love Michael Myers and all of them. I'm not the biggest horror fan, but I like horror movies and all of that. And yeah, I'm going to try my best to keep decorating this over here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I hit my microphone. But back here, I got another little Chucky poster. Can you guys see that okay? It's kind of hard to see, but my friend Brian gave that to me. So shout out to him. Okay, guys, I think it's time. We won't spend too much time on this because I do want to kind of wrap up this show. Let's just talk about the Pistons. I took a few notes. I'll just read you guys the highlight of their stats. They shot 41% tonight. It's not bad. They made 10 threes. Not bad. They made 85% of their free throws. They only missed 3. They out-rebounded us by 5, I believe. let me see, 42 points in the paint. And like I said, if you're a Pistons fan watching, there were a lot of times in this game where they did an excellent job of fighting back in this game. Because again, there were a few times where it didn't really feel like a preseason game, and I give them credit. And I really like their head coach, Bernie Bickerstaff, or I think it's JB Bickerstaff, Bernie Bickerstaff. You know what I'm talking about. He's a great coach. I think the Cavs should have given him like one more year. You know, that's just my personal opinion. I really like him. I think he's a good coach. I think he'll be an even better coach for this kind of a roster because they're young. They're rebuilding. They had a disastrous season last year. And that's why I wanted to quickly talk about them. They were terrible last year. I think they lost like, 29 in a row? But guess what? They finally cleaned house. I think they got rid of like their GM and some other front office people. Now, I do think they should have given Monty Williams one more year. That's my personal sort of biased opinion. They paid him all of that money. I think it was the largest coaching contract in NBA history, I believe. And they just fire him after one season. What are you doing? Kind of like how the Suns did it with Frank Vogel, right? Gave him all that money, you fire him. Quick side note, from what I've read and heard, I don't think the coaching salary like counts towards player salary. So it's a completely different thing. So that's probably why they do it. And let's be real. I don't care what sport you follow because I'm not a big football guy, but I know coaches always go first. Didn't like the Jets fire their coach today or something? It sucks, but coaches always go first. So without being long-winded, Monty Williams probably deserved one more year with the Pistons. JB Bickerstaff probably deserved one more year with the Cavs. I'm not saying Frank Vogel deserved one more year, but like they did fire him after a year. You know what I mean? Coaches always go first. It sucks. So I wrote down a few notes with the Pistons. First off, their rookie Ron Holland played very well in their first preseason game. And I think he played pretty well tonight. I want to pull up the numbers just to make sure. But, you know, he's young. He's athletic. He's scrappy. You know, we saw that kind of skirmish that he had with Damian Lee. You know, there's a reason they drafted him. I think he had 10 points tonight. Didn't shoot very well, but he had 4 assists. Like I said, scrappy, athletic, nice young player. But he had a really good first preseason game. I think he had like 10, 5, and 6 or something like that. Played well. Good on defense, too. Jaden Ivey, who is also another one of their young prospects. Jaden Ivey is fun to watch. That dude, you could argue, is either the fastest player in the NBA or is one of them. And that's up there with like John Morant and De'Aaron Fox and all these other guys, right? That dude is fast. But not just that. He has 16 points tonight, 5 assists, 4 boards. Now, he did have 3 turnovers and 3 fouls, but that dude is confident. He's athletic. I love watching that dude play. And I took in my notes. Another one of my other favorite young prospects, they have a lot of them on this team, is Jalen Duren. I love that dude. If he can stay healthy, he's going to be a beast. Jalen Duren is a monster. There was one play specifically where I think the Suns like turned the ball over or something. They were running the fast break. Jaden Ivey had this beautiful dish off, like a no-look dish, and I think it was Jaden Ivey, it was Jalen Duren who threw it down. That's going to be a fun, dynamic duo if they can get that, you know, implemented and chemistry and all that good stuff. Speaking of plays like that, I think it was Jaden Ivey had a beautiful pass to Simone Fontecchio. Is that how you say his name? And he missed, but Jalen Duren was right there to clean it up. That dude's just a monster, man. And even though I've been, and take this with a grain of salt here. I don't want to sound like Mr. Know-It-All. My dog's just walked in the room, by the way. I don't want to sound like Mr. Know-It-All because one of my worst takes ever was a couple seasons ago. I said that the Pistons had a bright future. Then they had a lottery season. Then the next season they lost 29 or whatever in a row. I'll take that L. That was a major L on my part. But like I said, they cleaned house. They have a new GM, like front office guy. I think his name's Trajan Langdon or something. They have a new coach. They have a whole bunch of young players. They finally have like veteran leadership, like with Tobias Harris and a few other guys. Maybe they will be better this season. It's going to take a very long time. They will probably be in the lottery this year. But if they can just win a few more games and maybe be like the, I don't know, 12th seed? I don't know. My dog's crying because he wants up on the bed. Oh, now he jumps up on the bed. Do you guys have dogs? And if you do your dogs do that? My dogs do that all the time. They cry and then they want up on the bed and, you know. By the way, I'm checking the Instagram stuff. We've had a lot of people join on Instagram. I do appreciate it. I want to do more of these Instagram, live shows and everything. So appreciate anybody who's watching watching along live on Instagram. And I appreciate anybody who's watching along live on YouTube. I really appreciate it, y'all. I know that there's a lot of great Suns post-game shows and all that, but you guys are choosing to be here, and I appreciate it. You guys are real ones. So now that I'm done being long-winded about the Pistons, I'm going to save some of this for like my son's Twitter series. If you guys have been following me for a long time, you guys know I like to do that reacting to Suns Twitter thing, which I brought back. Yesterday's episode was episode 64. I can't believe I've done 64 of those. So I'm going to save some of that for that. But I do want to talk about the Suns overreactions. Then we'll close out the show. Let me take a sip of my water and then, Let me just start with this, with the Suns overreactions. Yes, Mason Plumlee had a bad game. You guys can see the banner here. Suns Twitter preseason overreactions. Yes, he had a bad game. I get it. There were people out there comparing him to Nurkic. He played 15 minutes tonight. He had 5 points, 3 rebounds, and an assist, but there were times where it looked like he couldn't catch the ball. He couldn't get anything going. He didn't look good. I get it. I saw it. He didn't look great. But y'all need to just chill. Suns Twitter, you guys need to chill. Mason Plumlee will be fine. And I'm not saying like he's going to be better than Nurkic. I'm not saying Mason Plumlee is going to be better than Oso Ighodaro. But y'all, it's the second preseason game. Y'all need to chill. You know what I mean? And I'm calling some of my other Suns, community people and podcasters out on that too. Y'all need to chill, man. It's the second preseason game. Relax. He will be fine. Speaking of Suns Twitter overreactions, a great tweet here from another one of my favorite follows on Twitter. Somebody who's been very kind to me, and we've engaged a lot on Twitter. But Brendan PHX on Twitter had a great tweet right here. Now, remember, this was like by halftime, by the way. This was before halftime, and he tweeted this out. He says, Suns Twitter so far today. Keywords in that are so far. Oso and Ryan Dunn should start. More on that later, by the way. So he's saying Suns Twitter so far is saying that Ryan Dunn and Oso Ighodaro should start. Plumlee sucks. Trade him. Royce is cooked, even though I thought Royce O'Neal had a good game. And bench Bradley Beal. Did I miss anything? That is one of the greatest tweets ever, especially in Suns history. And that was at halftime. This is why I'm calling this segment Suns Twitter preseason overreactions. Y'all need to chill, Suns fans. Relax. I know we all have an opinion. I welcome your opinion. But it doesn't mean your opinion is right. And heck, it doesn't mean my opinion's right either. I could be wrong about Mason Plumlee. Maybe he's garbage. But right now, we're 2 preseason games in. I'm not giving up on the guy. Also, you guys need to chill on the Ryan Dunn and Oso Ighodaro starting thing. Bradley Beal is not going to the bench. Let me full screen myself. Let me look you directly in the eyes. Let's make eye contact here. Look at me. Bradley Beal is not going to the bench. Tyus Jones is not going to the bench. Our starting five is our starting five. They're not getting benched. You are not benching a $50 million player. Even if Bradley Beal was on like a $25 million contract, you are not benching Bradley Beal. It's not happening. Unless Bradley Beal legit goes up to Mike Budenholzer and says, hey, this isn't working. Bring me off the bench. That's when it happens. And even then, I don't know if Mike Budenholzer would do that. And, you know, I see the vision, like with Oso, but come on, we're talking about a rookie who was in the second round, by the way, even though I really like him and I'm saying great things about him, I'm praising him a lot. We're talking about a rookie starting over Yusuf Nurkic and Mason Plumlee. Are you kidding me, Suns fans? Y'all need to chill. Like this comment says right here, too early to decide. This is what preseason is for. Exactly. Y'all need to just chill, man. And I hate to preach to you guys. I don't want you guys to like be like, oh, Suns Geek just thinks he knows everything and he's too preachy for me. I'm going to go listen to somebody else. That's not my intention here, Suns fans. I'm just telling you guys how I see it. I'm speaking what I think is the truth. And this is why I like to call these shows like a live show reaction, or we're reacting to things. That's what we're doing here. If that's not your cup of tea, I hope you'll stick around, but that's what you're going to get today, tomorrow, and all season long. I hate to preach to you guys, but it's real. We're not benching Bradley Beal. We're not benching Tyus Jones, who came here on a minimum contract, who literally signed and in his announcement said, I will be the starting point guard for the Suns. We're not doing that. I don't care if Ryan Dunn and Oso Ighodaro are like the two greatest rookies in the last 5 years. I don't care. They're not starting. At least they're not starting anytime soon. You know what I mean? Jason says it perfectly right here. Too early to give up on anybody. I have faith in our team. We have faith in our team for them to be able to have a good season and good vibes and momentum. Jason, that's why I love you, man. You are so positive. You are so kind. Let me reread that. It's too early to give up on anybody. I have faith in our team. We have faith in our team for them to be able to have a good season and good vibes and momentum. Guys, I said something similar. I don't know if it was last live show. I've done so many live shows lately. They're all getting jumbled up here. I was like, y'all, can we just give this team a chance to show us what we can do? I saw something about like Bobby Portis recently, and I saw somebody like tweet out like, oh, we should all focus our attention now on Bobby Portis because, you know, he played with Mike Budenholzer. And like, what are we doing, y'all? Like, we're talking about trades and rumors, and we're 2 preseason games in. Let's see what this team can do. Now, again, maybe I'll be eating my words. Maybe we'll be 20, 25 games in, and these words right here will look foolish. But that's why we're reacting at this time on what's today, October 8th, literally 9:39 my time. I'm reacting to you in the present moment. And I love this comment, Jason. Well done, man. So that's my overreaction. I'm overreacting about Suns Twitter preseason overreactions because you guys are crazy. I love you guys. I love Suns Twitter, but Suns Twitter also bothers me too. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything here. Normally we would, react to what like the players and coaches are saying, but I'll probably save that for another day because let me just check the schedule. I don't think our next preseason game is for a few days, so I'll have time to kind of like get caught up on everything and maybe make more videos and more live shows and everything. Okay. So our next preseason game is until Friday. I might take tomorrow off. I know I keep talking about it, but I think I'm going to finally upload the Suns Media Day vlog tomorrow, and then I might just kind of get caught up on more Suns highlights and more Suns stuff, kind of rejuvenate. Like if you guys need your Suns fix or your Suns geek fix with my content, seriously, there are there's tons of content on the channel that I've uploaded recently. So please, if you want to keep supporting this channel, go watch all of those videos. Please do it. It really helps out, and crush that like button and everything. That's the best way to support me. But please subscribe. I encourage you to subscribe. Subscribe. You know, I'll keep you guys updated on all the latest Phoenix Suns news, even if it's just like a tweet or a YouTube short. You guys will be in the loop with all the latest Phoenix Suns news. So I think I'm done preaching to you guys now. First off, I'm humbled and I'm honored that you guys give me a platform to, quote, preach to you guys. And again, I am not right about everything. I have been wrong many, many times, and I will be wrong sometime in the future. But that's just what I believe. That's how I feel. That's how it is. Final thought, though. How the players play and if the team is winning will decide their fate, and that's the coach's decision. Exactly. I know a lot of Suns fans hate Frank Vogel and they blame him for a lot, but I will say this. One thing that Monty Williams did great at and Frank Vogel did great at, and I think they learned a lot of this from Greg Popovich, is if you do not play well, and if you do not play well, especially in practice, you will not play at all. I think if you're a coach, even at the college level, that's how it should be. So I agree. I agree with that right there. A true statement. Preseason only matters to the team that's winning. That's hilarious because there was a tweet about that I reacted to. That was funny. All right, you guys. I think that's it. Like I said, y'all, seriously, the best way to support this channel, you guys, is first off just to keep watching. But please subscribe because we are on the road to 10K subscribers. And I'm just seriously thankful and grateful for you all. My God, Casey was a hilarious comment. If it has to do with the Phoenix Suns, I could be wrong about it. It's true. If it has to do with the Phoenix Suns, I could be wrong about it. But guess what, you guys? I'm going to make a video about it, or I'm going to make a YouTube short about it, or I'm going to do a live show about it. That's it. That's my new slogan right there for the 2024-25 season. So, like I said, y'all, I'm done preaching. I'm tired. I want to go relax. I want to go play some video games. I want to just chill. Like I said, I'm going to probably tomorrow dive into more Suns highlights and really just highlights in general. There's a lot of preseason games that I want to watch, but I want to kind of get caught up on some stuff. So you might only get like one video tomorrow. We'll see. But this has been a great live show, y'all. And you guys are all amazing. Seriously, there was like over 20 something people in here, and there's so much great Suns content, and there's so much great, Suns podcasts out there, and you guys continue to watch me. So seriously, I'm thankful and I'm grateful for you guys. So seriously, subscribe right now. Just do it. I encourage you to subscribe, share the show. Word of mouth is also good. Tell your friends. They're a big Suns fan. Tell them about Suns Geek, y'all. You guys are all awesome. I love you guys. And again, I hate to preach to y'all, but seriously, be kind to people, love people, spread positivity. The world needs it right now. Also, thoughts and prayers for everybody, that is dealing with the wreckage in North Carolina, and thoughts and prayers for everybody who's in Florida, with the hurricanes and all that. And thoughts and prayers to all of you out there. You guys keep this channel alive, and I really do appreciate it. So I love you guys. God bless you guys. Stay safe out there. And remember, if it has to do with the Phoenix Suns, I could be wrong about it, but I'm probably going to make a video about it. I need to take the probably out. I'm going to make a video about it. Thank you, Abraham. Thank you, everybody, for the kind words. I appreciate y'all. Jason, you're the man. He says, Suns Geek, have a good night. Everyone have a blessed night. Yes. Seriously, you guys, I don't know what y'all are doing, but enjoy yourself. Take a few moments to rest. Go watch a movie. Go play some video games, or spend time with your family or whatever, your dogs or whoever. Go do that right now, y'all. I love you guys. Peace out. God bless. And no matter what happens, win or lose, Phoenix Suns for life. and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.